I recently saw a comment on my YouTube channel that really resonated with me. Somebody said that they were so ready for indie brands to be done with their neutral era, and I was like, same kind of. Anyways, I have two palettes that are really swaying and taking a hard right from all of the neutral palettes I've been playing with recently. So if you want to see two looks, see some swatches, hear my first impressions on the two new Glaminatrix palettes, then just keep watching. If this is your first time that you happen to stumble upon my channel, hello, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I love to focus on eyeshadow palettes, especially ones from indie brands. If you want a tan girl perspective, then I highly recommend hitting that subscribe button, turn on that bell so you're notified every time I post, and without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay, y'all, I'm so excited. I hope my excitement is contagious because I have the new Grounded palette from Glaminatrix, and lo and behold, I knew they were sending me the Bonfire palette, and it actually showed up yesterday. Actually, that's 2 days ago when you're watching this video, but it did show up on the launch day of the palette, and I was so freaking excited, and I cannot believe I have both of these palettes. These are probably two of my favorite palettes that Glaminatrix has launched this year. They have had some exciting releases, but these two speak to me. So I was wearing the Grounded palette in yesterday's video. If you didn't check out my new makeup releases, episode 26, every Wednesday, Tuesday, one of those days of the week, we sit down and we talk about all the beauty news, new releases, industry updates, collabs, all the things. And I was wearing this palette and it was making me so happy. So you guys are going to see the look I created with this one, but let me just show you the inside of the palette and close-ups and swatches. This palette came about as kind of an April Fool's joke. They posted this picture saying, oh, we're launching the Tones of Turd palette, and all the names had to do with shit. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. And people begged and begged and begged and actually asked for the palette to be produced. So who is Glaminatrix to get in the way of a great color story? And it's very similar to what Tarte ended up doing with their Icy Betch palette. A couple of years ago, they launched this palette as an April Fool's joke and presented it as the Icy Betch, and then everybody begged for it and they actually made the palette. It was a pretty great palette. So anyway, every once in a while it ends up happening, and it happened to Glaminatrix. And the cool thing with them is they actually created two versions of the palette. So they have one called Tones of Turd, which I think is what the original was. And then they made one called the Grounded. So it's the same color story. It's just a little bit more of a PG version for anybody that's not really into the cheekiness of the joke. I am so happy to have this, and I'm just so excited to tell you a little bit about it. So this palette retails for $64, and the Grounded palette is a serene, earthy collection to bring balance and strength to every look, featuring the same rich color story you love from Tones of Turd, but paired with mindful shade names that celebrate calm, stability, and clarity. So this is now available for pre-order because I think they've had a few order rounds sell out. So something to keep in mind, of course. And it says, if you're in the mood for some toilet humor, check out Tones of Turd palette. And these palettes have 26mm magnetic pans, 4 multi-chromes, 1 intense metallic shimmer, and 10 pigmented smooth mattes. So we've got 15 shades in this palette, and I'm going to read you the shade descriptions and show you the swatches. Still quiet and undisturbed, like the calm after a deep breath, is a matte white kind of shade. And then anchored, firmly planted, no matter the storm, is a yellowy mustard shade. Steady, unwavering, and dependable, like your favorite ritual, is a grungy, kind of like baby poop kind of color. And then we have Present, which is completely here, fully, and now. And this one is a mix between like a brown and a grungy green shade. Aligned is when your heart and mind and energy all say yes. and that's a chocolatey brown. Whole is nothing missing, nothing broken, pure completeness. This is a beautiful shimmery golden shade. Balance, that sweet spot between too much and not enough. And this I would describe as a yellowy multi-chrome shade that has a lot of green particles in it, so it shifts this beautiful green. Solid is described as strong, grounded, and unshakable, and this has a red peachy shift to it. The shade Calm is a quiet state of peace that softens everything around you, and it's a grungy red with a shift of almost like a coppery brown taupe with a shift of green in it. And the shade Secure is a marble shade that has green and teal and orange sparkles in it. And it's described as safe, certain, and rooted in self-trust. And in my swatch, I feel like it looks like a bright, vibrant teal color. And then the last row is all mattes. So we have Clarity, like mental fog lifting on a crisp morning, and it's a neutral brown. Trust is a soft confidence that things will work out. It's more of a yellowy mustard shade. Patience, peace in the waiting, and that's a dark green. Grounded is centered, calm, and connected to the earth. It's a warm tone reddish brown. And Reflect is a moment to pause, look inward, and gain insight. And this is a dark brown color. So I really love the packaging. I love the palette. Okay, so on the box, it also says the palette has a 24-month shelf life, made in the PRC. So I'm assuming it's the same information for the Bonfire palette as well. Now the Bonfire palette is so beautiful. I love this rectangular shape, and it has like an embossing on it that's a fire. And when I was swatching this just now, I kept thinking in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, this palette is such a fall vibe. It's so Halloween in my brain, and it's so funny how palettes can really like switch off on your inspiration based off of how they theme it. So this is $61. Turn up the heat with Bonfire, a fiery palette of 12 high-impact shades inspired by the colors of a crackling campfire. From the warm glow of flames to the cool tones of ashes and smoke and even rich earthy greens for the outdoors, this palette captures the essence of a night by the fire. Totally agree, but I also feel like it reminds me of Halloween. Again, this is a 24-month shelf life, 6 velvety mattes, and a mixture of iridescence, shimmers, duochromes, and multichromes. Bonfire lets you create smoldering warm looks, moody cool tones, or forest-inspired earthy vibes. So let me tell you a little bit about these shades as well, because I love to tell you guys shade descriptions. So the first shade is called Kindling, and this is that typical white shade that has a shift to it. So this one shifts yellowy gold. Evergreen is a beautiful evergreen color. It's a matte. And then I swatch these in quads because I feel like if you're looking for inspiration, it's really laid out here for you. And so Pine is the next shade. It's a grungy green, but it has a little bit more yellow to it, so it looks quite bright. And then Embers is a multi-chrome that shifts from green to yellow, and it has a black base. So it's one of those typical multi-chromes. And then the next quad is more of a fiery quad. So Wildfire is a orange with a yellow shift to it. Bonfire is the matte burgundy shade. Inferno is a bright orange, and then Blaze is another black-based multi-chrome that shifts from orange to red to yellowy sparkles. And then the last quad is the cool tone quad. I will say this one definitely throws me off because I'm not the biggest fan of cool tones, but obviously if you're doing a bonfire and the fire burns off, you get coal, and this is definitely that. So we have Cinder, which is a silvery metallic shade. Smoke is a ashy gray brown, and then Ashes is a very ashy shade. Like if you were to take ash from a fire and rub that on your arm, that's kind of what it would look like. And then Smolder is a multichrome that shifts from purple to a brighter light blue shade. So I think this color story is so well curated, and I cannot wait to create a look with it. So let's go ahead and get into the looks with each of the palettes. We're going to start off with Grounded, and then I will create a look with the Bonfire palette for you guys. It's time to film a look with the Grounded palette. I'm going to start off with the shade Patience. It's this beautiful dark green color, and you know it's going to be on the outer corner. This palette swatched like a dream, so I'm very, very excited to put it on my eyes today. Just gonna keep it short and tight out there, and then we have to go into the shade Steady, which is this mucky green color, and I'm just gonna start packing that onto the crease. And then I want something a little brighter, so I'm going to use Anchored. I'm kind of going to mix those two shades together. Anchored is probably going to go a little closer to the inner corner and the crease. I'm really liking Anchored. And now I'm going to use Steady on this eye. Okay, so it's not perfectly even on the outer corner, but I will fix that. Now, let me tell you, the shimmers in this palette, out of this world. I feel like initially you're right away drawn to Secure, which is beautiful, but I feel like I have to play with Balance and Solid. They're so good. It also doesn't help that I've already seen their new palette, the Bonfire palette, and I think mine is gonna get here later, probably like after launch. So I think that I won't be able to give you guys a review of it before the launch, and you're probably not even gonna see this video before that palette launches, but I have a feeling they're gonna be gorgeous. Like the shimmers look stunning. So I'm putting Balanced on first, and I'm using the Singe Flat brush, the shadow brush. I love this brush. I was giving it a bit of a break because I swear I kept like cleaning it and reusing it every time I did a eyeshadow look, because I love how this picks up the pigment. And I always love to do like a faux cut crease, so I'm putting that halfway, and now I'm grabbing Solid on the other side, and these are so foily. And I'm just putting that on the outer half and just kind of angling it. These shimmers make you want to drool. Like, are you freaking kidding me? The shade Solid has like this peachy shift from like green. Looks so fiery. I have to go. I'm taking my kids to I signed them up for a sports sampler this afternoon. Guess who's showing up with multi-chrome shadows on her eyes? Me. I don't care. I'm not washing this off. Okay, I want to take a little bit of Patience, and I kind of want to add it to the crease a little more. I was going to go light, but I feel like since the shimmers are so light, a little depth with the dark green might look cool. And we have dance today too. I'm just doing the most this summer with the girls. It's been so fun. And I'm going to take a little more of the shade Anchored, and I'm just going to blend it in with the dark green. So for highlighter today, I grabbed the Peach Glow highlight from Bare Minerals. I was trying to shop my stash because there's some makeup products I feel like I never touch. And I was like, let me grab this one from Bare Minerals to try out. Or like, not try out, but like use, because I haven't touched it in a while. So I'm going to use it as my inner corner shade today. So that worked out. And then I'm gonna take the same brush, I think, and we're gonna use the shade Anchored. And it's kind of a yellow that when you blend it, it's not as pigmented looking. So I'm trying to kind of build it up a little bit on the waterline. And then I'm gonna mix in the dark green shade. Okay, so I'm just adding Patience now. And Patience is like that color. It's very pigmented. It blends nicely, but you can also really kind of like build it up. And it's looking a little intense on the outer corner here, but that's all right. This might be a little too much for sports sampler with toddlers, but you know, it is what it is. It's mommy's job. So there's that. But I really love how this turned out. It's very cute and dramatic, and I'm here for it. So I'm going to finish up the makeup and I'll be right back to show you the finished look. Okay, this might be my favorite eye look I've done this month. I am living for this moment. Let me tell you really quick what is on my face in case you guys are curious. So I've been wearing the Benefit. This is the Professional Foundation and I got it in the shade 24 Power, 24W Power. Still love it. It is really a very hearty foundation. It feels very full coverage and I feel quite flawless. I do have a little breakout there that's about to be done, but yeah, I think my skin looks really great. It's not too glowy, definitely like a natural matte finish to it, and so far so good. I did repurchase this NARS concealer. I haven't used this in forever, but there was a sale I think around Memorial Day or something, and I was like, let me grab that. I haven't used it in so long and I'm such a fan of NARS. So this is in medium deep. And it's nice. It is a good concealer. I'm not sure that it's like, oh my gosh, you need to run out and buy it, but it's been around for a long time and I hadn't used it in years, so I repurchased it because I wanted to experience it again. And then for lip colors, I did kind of reorganize my lipstick drawer because I feel like I was reaching for the same things, so I reorganized it a little bit and I forgot about these Maybelline Superstay Teddy Tints, and so I'm wearing the shade 20 today. This is mascara tier, and I think I actually purchased this one with my own money. They did send me some as well, but I did buy one to try out, and I will say it feels very similar to the Odenzai liquid matte lipstick formula, but I like this one a little bit better, and it also has a nice fragrance to it if you care about things like that. So that is the lip product I have on today. And then for my cheek combo for bronzer, I'm sure we can all say it together, I'm wearing my Natasha Denona liquid bronzer in the shade Toasty, and then I topped it with the Haus Labs bronzer in the shade Amber Horizon. Just been wanting to try that a lot. And for my blush and highlighter today, I am wearing Peach Glow from Bare Minerals. I feel like I never say that, so it's fun to kind of dig this out for my collection, and it is a really pretty highlighter. And then I've been dying to pick up the new shades from Rhode, the new blush shades, and I almost did it last night. I almost caved and I was like, Karen, you have 2 Rhode blushes. Why don't you use the ones you have? And so today I'm wearing the shade. This is, oh my gosh, Freckle. So it's like a really pretty peachy color, very natural. And yeah, super cute. So that is everything on my face today for this look. Since I created a green look with the Grounded palette, I'm going to focus on the Fiery Quad in the Bonfire palette. I feel like I'm ready, and I did use some of Glaminatrix liquid blushes as well, so I'll let you guys know what all is on my face when I finish off the look. And we're gonna totally ponytail today because this hair, the amount of times in a week I debate if I should just call my hair girl and chop it all off is way too many. Like, I really shouldn't have to be so indecisive about my hair, but it's so high maintenance. It's so high maintenance, but then I'm like, if I had short hair, I'd be complaining too. So weigh in on the comments. I want to know, are you team long hair or short hair? I have never had long hair. my whole life. This is probably the longest my hair has ever been my whole life. So I'm like, just hold on to it, because once I cut it, it's going to take me so long to grow it back. But I also just like miss like having a shorter haircut, because I feel like it's less upkeep, but I also feel like I'm lying to myself. So I need you guys to motivate me either way. I'm really hoping that you guys will come back to me and be like, yeah, no, short hair is actually very high maintenance, Karen. You've just forgotten because you think the grass is green on the other side, but it's not. That's the kind of encouragement I need, okay? Okay, so that shade is beautiful. I did end up with a little bit of fallout under my eyes, so I need to dust that off quick. So the day I'm filming this, which is the night before you're watching this, is July, what day is it today? 23rd. And it's the sentencing for Brian Koberger. So I didn't really watch it live. You guys know I'm kind of into like true crime stuff, and that Idaho case happened on my daughter's first birthday. It happened like very early in the morning, so I didn't know about it until like after I had her birthday party and stuff like that. So that case, I feel like, has like lived in my brain rent free for so long, and I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. I just, it's crazy. It's a crazy story, and I guess we'll never know why. Like, I don't know if they had a trial, if they would have ever found answers. I don't know, but I was curious to know if any of you guys had followed the sentencing. So I'm going in with Bonfire now, and I'm just going to put that on the outer corner. And I know that some of you that follow me follow true crime stuff. So every once in a while, I'll get somebody popping in my DMs and be like, did you follow this case? And did you follow that case? And it's so funny how we can make connections through the internet and talk about things that our friends and family might not want to talk to us about. But it's been a heck of a day. I have been in the throes of toddler parenting, so it's been a good time. This shade, though, is so fabulous. These two colors together doing exactly what I thought they were going to do. So that makes me so happy, and I didn't think I would have two fabulous Glaminatrix palettes to play with in such close time frame. So I decided to make one video with both of these, and low-key, I'm one of those people that loves to just combine things, like when I'm placing orders from brands overseas. So I thought this might be helpful to you guys, and yeah, if you're contemplating buying Bonfire and Grounded's like catching your eye, I would say just get them both at the same time so you don't have to pay for shipping twice. Also, just wanted to share my experience, because I don't feel like enough indie brands have really given us updates on like what the tariff situation is. But I've gotten a Cosmic Beauty palette and these two Glaminatrix palettes. I'm trying to think of any other overseas brands that have sent me stuff since the tariffs, and I haven't had to pay anything extra. So I hope that helps you guys out. I know I had a question in my Cosmic Beauty video. I haven't gotten back to that commenter yet, but they asked me if Cosmic Beauty knew if there was going to be any tariffs and stuff. And I did contact the owner, and she said, unfortunately, they aren't sure yet. It seems like nobody has gotten hit with extra fees, and they don't really know what's going on with the tariffs. And I also shared with her that I hadn't had to pay anything with any of the palettes I've received from overseas. And I also just got my Beauty Bay order in, so I'm assuming things are just going along as is, or it doesn't, I don't know, apply to the orders I've made. So do with that information what you will. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, but I thought I would share because somebody did ask me in a video, and I also followed up with the brand. So that's the best info I have. So if you're planning on shopping, both of these brands I've received packages from like the last 20 days, and I haven't had to pay anything. So if that helps you at all. This is so pretty. I could just leave this like this, but we have to put a lid shade on, so I'm gonna do that. But first I want to line my lower lash line quick. I'm gonna take this little bit of a chubbier Game Beauty brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Inferno. Really need to make sure I dust that off so I don't have too much fallout, but I kind of want a good amount of this on the lower lash line. It's not like applying a deep color, so I don't mind if I have more of it kind of blended out in my lower lash line. That is such a pretty like Cheeto dust color. How can you be mad at that? It's so vibrant. And then I'm going to take Bonfire and I'm just going to run that on the lower lash line. And then I want to take this brush and I'm going to go into Smoke. And I'm just going to put a little bit of smoke on the outer edge of the look because I want to deepen it up just a little bit. And I'm going to take the Sigma blending brush and just blend that into the red a little bit. That is looking so blended and absolutely beautiful in my opinion. And then for the lid, whew, I really want to use, I think I'll use both of them, the shade Wildfire and Blaze. So I think I can sandwich both shades on my lids. I'm going to take this cool brush that is from, I don't know, some brand. I got it sent to me. I'm going to start off with the darker shade first. We're going in with Blaze. And I got to take my Fresh Prince spray from Glamlight. And I'm going to start that on the, oh yeah, on the outer edge. And really just kind of tap that on. It looks so stunning. Are you freaking kidding me? That color? Oh. So I was thinking I was going to make this look a part of a larger multiple palette video, but I decided to just do the two Glaminatrix palettes together. I think that would just make it easier for you guys to keep track of, and also means I can post this video sooner, because if I waited until like my Adept palette comes, that's coming on Friday, and I've seen people have gotten it in PR already. So you'll probably see so many videos go up before mine even comes. So I figured let me just do my Glaminatrix looks in a video together. That way I feel like it's easier for you guys to find. I know this look is kind of predictable, but I kind of love it anyway, and I don't really care that much. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. I don't even know which one I like more. I feel like I love both of the eye looks. Oh my gosh, it's so bright. And then I'm just going to take the same brush and I'm going to go into the shade Kindling. We have to pop that on the inner portion. I'm just going to turn my shadow brush to the side, and I'm just going to like right there, I'm just going to pop that on. That is so pretty. Okay, I love it so, so much. I'm going to go ahead and put on some mascara, and I'll find some earrings, and I'll be right back to give you guys my thoughts on the palettes I tried out today. Okay, y'all, I'm here for this look. I love it so much, and I just feel like with my complexion, these shades just look so vibey. I don't know. I don't want to flatter myself too much, but let me tell you really quick what is on my face today. I pretty much used the same things I used in yesterday's look just because I was just wanting to play with the makeup some more, but I decided to go ahead and use the Peach Glow highlighter from Bare Minerals. It's a very highlightery. And for my lip combo today, I'm wearing this MAC lipstick, which I dug up because I rearranged my lipstick drawer, and I have no idea what the shade is. I have no idea. I don't even know if MAC still makes these Locked Kiss lipsticks, but that is the shade. It's like a nice dark brown, and then I'm wearing the Huda gloss. This is in the shade I'm So Blind. I have no idea, but I really love those glosses. And then for my blush combo today, I used 2 new shades from the Glaminatrix blushes. So I tried to use red kind of up here and then like ombre it into the orange, but I don't know if I did a very good job. But I have the shade Sweet and I have the shade Warm, and they did send me those a while ago. And then my bronzer is my Amber Horizon shade from House Labs. And of course I have to wear Natasha Denona Toasty. And then my foundation and concealer combo is the Benefit Professional Foundation in the shade Power and the NARS concealer. So that's everything on my face today. I'll try and link everything down below, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I was planning on putting all of these looks into one bigger video, like a 6 or 7 look video, but I decided to go ahead and review the 2 Glaminatrix palettes together since it made sense. So which one should we talk about first? Let's talk about the Grounded palette. Actually, I don't even know. I love both of them so much. I don't know how I would really narrow these down. I guess what it really comes down to is if you want the greens with a neutral look, go with the Grounded palette. If you want the greens with fiery oranges and some cool tones, Bonfire is your best bet. These are so close in price. I don't know that the price difference will make a big deal for you guys, and you can always use my code KHMakeup to save on the Glaminatrix website if that helps you out. But both of these are so good, you guys. I love the matte formula, and their metallic formula is Chef's Kiss. They've always had a really solid metallic formula, so I'm happy with both of these palettes, and if you get either of them, I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. I know they've had some other palettes launch quite recently. It feels like they've had quite a few palettes launch over the last 6-7 months. And I was talking about this in my new makeup releases video yesterday, where I was like, Glaminatrix isn't really one of those brands that launches a new palette like every other month. There are some brands, some indie brands that do that, but I feel like overall we've seen like a slowdown. So I'm really excited to see them come out with multiple palettes at the start of the year. I don't know if they're going to continue on with releasing lots of palettes this year, or if it just happened to be how it turned out. Either which way, I am not mad about it at all, because these 2 are definitely 2 of my favorites that they've launched this year, and definitely in my top 20 palettes of 2025 so far. So I'm very excited. I hope this video helped you guys out. Let me know, you guys, I'm always nosy, which one was your favorite look. If you liked the Grounded palette look, you can leave a green heart emoji. And if you like the Bonfire look, definitely leave me an orange emoji or a fire emoji. Anything in the orange and red color story, I will accept as a answer. But I hope you guys are having a good day. If you already ordered from Glaminatrix, let me know which palettes you picked up, because I'm nosy. Again, very, very nosy. Love hearing from y'all. And if you have another extra 40 minutes, I did just post my new makeup releases episode 26. So I will link it for you guys to check out. And I will see you in another video very, very soon. I think I'm going to post either my makeup haul for June, or you'll see more eyeshadow looks. I thought I was doing well. I thought I wasn't buying eyeshadow palettes, but then I ordered the Adept palette, the Terra Moon palette, the New Beauty Bay palette, the Natasha Denona palette. That's 4 palettes right there that I need to film with. So lots of eyeshadow looks coming up. Definitely would love to hear any feedback you have, and I will catch you very, very soon. Bye, friends!